Our coverage brought to you with McDonald's McDelivery. Order McDelivery now on the Uber Eats app. Jim Proudfoot and David Connolly talking you through the action from our studios in London. Game taking place at the Estadio Jose Avelade in Lisbon tonight.
The talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yes, here we go then, Clips of the Week, and we kick off, as we have many times over the years, with Big Alan Brazil on breakfast.
Now, yesterday on Kickoff, former Pompey and Newcastle striker Lua joined the show.
Lua, make him sound like a quite exotic rugby union or rugby league star, doesn't he? Or a bit Hawaiian. Trezor Lua.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And this is Goffey and Adrian on Drive.
And it's part of my history.
Mate.
So they always look for it, and they'll mention it to me, the result, if I've not seen it.
I didn't get that.
Hello.
Could you try again?
We got it, Goffey. We were with you.
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
a problem.
Yeah.
That posh bloke didn't, clearly. And this was an unfortunate turn of phrase by the Sun's Charlie Wyatt on our show yesterday.
I think there's always been interest from United in him. As you mentioned, Jadon Sancho does appear to be dead.
We'd like to point out for James, I think he meant the deal involving Manchester United, and Jadon very much alive and well, apparently enjoying life, riding his bike quite often with Borussia Dortmund. Every time he's become like Simon Cowell on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Every time you see a picture of Jadon Sancho, he's in his.
I thought something had happened on his bike.
He's in his Dortmund training kit, riding a bike. Is that what they do? I mean, maybe they're entering the Tour de France now. Anyway.
Yes. Paul Ross now, looking ahead to the day on talkSPORT.
Paul Coit from 5 to 6, before we get, of course, the inestimable pleasure of the company for the last time this week of Laura Woods with Darren Bennett and Brighton striker Glenn Murray.
Oh, Darren Bennis.
Who is Darren Bennett?
He's got his new series, Anyone for Bennis. It's fantastic. Bennis elbow, death in Bennis, and there you get the idea.
Get the idea there.
This is David Spencer with the news.
Labour have described the government's decision to scrap Public Health England as irresponsible and desperate blame shifting. Matt Hancock's
Close.
Good recovery. Not a great one, really. The first one he went with, was it?
Not ideal, no, not really.
Yes.
Let's get the sport now with Fern Bouch.
Real Sociedad have announced the signing of former Manchester City midfielder David Silva. The Spaniard officially left the Premier League club.
I prefer Spaniel.
David Silva's no Spaniel. Fern, I think you'll find. Back to Big Alan, this time talking Bundesliga with Jamie O'Hara.
I've always liked German football, even as a kid in the youth team. When you play in these tournaments around Europe, Germans, no matter who you played, were always tough, disciplined.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I remember playing Real Madrid.
What's that got to do with it, Jay?
Very German, are they, Real Madrid?
It's not that German at all.
No. And we had a top booking on talkSPORT this week.
Yeah.
Jim and Stuart with all the action. Sam Matterface in the stadium. Paul Pogba alongside me here at the Towers as well. I'm Mark Saggers.
That's impressive, isn't it? Paul Pogba, especially as it was Manchester United versus Sevilla.
And
he was playing. I think it was Paul Parker. But it's an easy mistake to make. And here is Jim Proudfoot during commentary.
You might as well hunt for a pig rather than a lamb, as the old phrase used to go. Here's Vidal.
Did it? What happened to the sheep?
The sheep's been replaced by a pig. I don't know when that happened. And here's the Athletic Simon Johnson with a shocking slur on a regular listener to this show and a snooker legend.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, he can argue he's won in every decade for the last few decades now. So he's sort of winning it in longevity, and Henry won it on speed.
How dare you, Steve? If you're listening, well, not for 1 minute did we ever think you were doing that.
Now, this is ex-Bournemouth defender Simon Francis chatting to Jim White and Simon Jordan in a clip we're calling Too Many Simons.
Too many Simons.
See, Simon, this Simon Jordan will be of interest to you because you've seen this, no doubt, from the other side. Mm-hmm. We're hearing it now from Simon, who's a well-respected player. So it's tough for Simon, but these are decisions that you, Simon, have had to make, no doubt, as
Sure. I mean, I'm just curious to see the landscape for Simon.
There's too many Simons.
I'm just curious which Simon was going to answer.
Paul Simon had suddenly come on. Would have been a disaster.
Would have been perfect, wouldn't it?
Anyway, back to David Spencer with shock news.
The president of Belarus says there'll be no new elections there until you kill me.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen, Dave. You're a very valued member of the staff. Fantastic.
This is co-commentator David Connolly with Mark Saggers seemingly desperate to get a word in.
PSG are in the final. Lyon looking to get in the final as well. So you never know. Maybe that has benefited those teams, and has it affected the Premier League? You know, because you got to remember they had a brutal end to the season. Yes. The volume, the amount of games, real high intensity games, which Bayern Munich didn't.
All of that, of course.
It was a bit like it was like a dog, wasn't it? He was desperate to get in. And finally, you may recall just how in love Jim White was with the former Charlton owner's name. Let's give you a brief snatch of that now.
We're talking about the owner, Roland Duchâtelet. Duchâtelet, we'll attempt to get word to Duchâtelet. This man, Roland Duchâtelet, not happy with this man, Roland
Duchâtelet. You've heard the full 3.5-minute version, I'm sure. So that was Roland Duchâtelet, wasn't it?
Yes, well, Jim had the prospective new owner on this week, and it sounded like Jim was just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
One man who wants to get involved and says he is the real deal is the Danish-American businessman Thomas Sandgaard. And I'm delighted to say, Thomas Sandgaard, welcome to the show. People like Clinton and I would go back to bed, but you're too busy making money, Mr. Sandgaard, aren't you? Thomas Sandgaard, the man who wants to take over the reins at Charlton.
Yeah, it's not quite as joyous a name as Duchâtelet. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Jim doesn't give it the full Duchâtelet. But it did allow us this brief musical play-out.
Sandgaard.
I know it's stretching it a bit, really, but you get the idea. So there we are. That was the clips of the week. Big thank yous to Glyn Berrington, Chris Sheld, D. Reynolds, Drew. Oh, come on. Ali Goat, Rob, Hillary, Team Jam, Spursio, Paul Geary and Joshua Green. So
Leeds United versus Man United.
Oh yeah.
Not that I'm a proud Yorkshireman, not that I'm a Leeds supporter, but it is.